Let's consider another application layer example, which is sending and receiving email. We're talking here not about like a web-based client like Gmail or Umail, but the underlying email protocol that's behind that. How some computer on the internet manages to send email to some other computer on the internet. So you might imagine that if I'm on my laptop and I want to send email to someone at example.com, that I contact a machine example.com so I could send mail to someone at example.com. But actually, I will normally contact a local server that I have that is responsible for dealing with email. So my laptop will contact smtp.cs.utah.edu or some such machine, and that machine will be responsible for actually contacting example.com and delivering the mail. And the reason for this is I just want to send email and then close my laptop and go do something else. But the actual process of sending mail can take a while. And these days there are all sorts of spam prevention mechanisms that are in place that are really better left to a dedicated server like smtp.cs.utah.edu. Still, the protocol that my laptop uses to talk to that server and the protocol that it would use to talk directly to example.com or that these two servers use to talk to each other, it's the same protocol. It's the SMTP Simple Mail Transport Protocol. That's at least the case for sending email. If you want to read email that has been delivered to your side, again, someone at example.com, when they reply, they don't reply directly to your laptop. They will reply to some server in your area that receives email for you, and then you fetch the email from that server. And that uses a different protocol. That's not what SMTP is for. That's for sending and delivering mail. For reading mail that has been received and stored locally, you use something like IMAP or POP. So in between these two servers, the one that deals with sending mail and receiving it and letting you view it in your client, there's going to be some database sitting in between there. But we are interested in the SMTP layer. Let's look at that protocol that we would use to talk to our local server, or if we really wanted to talk to a remote server like example.com. So when the client contacts the server, it turns out that it doesn't say anything first. Just the fact that a connection has been made provokes the server into responding with an initial message that will start with the number 220. That means a kind of hello from the server, and the server will also tell us its name, as if we didn't know because we contacted the server, but it tells us what the server thinks it is, and we can make sure we contacted the right one. After receiving that initiation message, a server responds with EHLO and then in its own name. Again, the server has some idea of who contacted it, but this tells it who we think we are. Usually you just write localhost these days. Right? Localhost being a kind of alias that always means the current machine. In response to EHLO, the server is supposed to respond with 250, and then some text after that, which is often something like pleased to meet you, or hello, thanks for connecting, or I'm ready to listen to you more. And then a client will send something that has the format mail from colon and then a mail address. The server will receive that and it will decide whether it's okay for it to send mail with that from address. Like, maybe the server is not willing to impersonate just anyone, but it wants to check that it's sensible so that other mail services that contact don't get mad at this server. And so it's going to say, okay, I'm willing to send mail as mflat@cs.utah.edu. And then the client uses RCPT to tell the server who it wants to send it to, and the server says, okay, that looks plausible to me, keep going. Then the client says, okay, I'm going to send you the data. The server says 354, I am ready to receive that data, and then you write the message that you want to send, which often has some headers like the date and from and subject and to. The server may fill in ones that are missing. It needs a blank line after the header, then the message content, and then a line that has just dot at the end to actually send the message. And then the server will say, okay, I put that in my outgoing mail queue, my outbox. I'll get it out there for you sometime. All of this, again, is happening over TCP. So it's a client server over TCP, just like web browsing, but using a different protocol at the application layer. The kind of text that a client sends and the kind of text we expect back from the server is different, built on top of that same underlying layer at the transport level.